KODK. Finally, I said it right. I think I said everything from Kodak to KODX to God knows what else I called this ticker today. I just couldn't get it right. I don't know why. Anyway, KODK, I did not trade today. It was our lead capper on the day. It was up over 200%, at one point 300%. I just could not get myself to trade it. When we go to the charts in a second, you will understand why I couldn't get myself to trade it. Basically, I kept missing the pullbacks. It was never really pulling back as strong as I wanted. And then all the breakouts were just really inching up very, very slowly. It was at no point where I was like, oh, this is the breakout, or oh, this is the pullback. It was just like, nah, not there yet. Whatever, I totally missed it. Doesn't really matter. I still had a really nice green day, trading only 2 tickers and waiting for all the moves that I wanted. Now, today could have been way better, 100%, but I used small position size today. I think my biggest trade today was like $2,000 something, and my average position size I think today was between $1,000 and $1,500. And it was just because, I wasn't feeling 100%. I was looking at the market and I was like, I'm missing a lot of moves. My first 3 trades, 2 were losses, 1 was a win. I was still green because I had good risk reward on the trades, but still, it was just like fumbling everywhere. But it ended up being really, really hot pre-market, and I didn't really capitalize on it. Tomorrow it's going to be Wednesday. There might be a chance it's going to be another hot pre-market. So I will make sure to start the stream chat earlier, not the actual live stream. But if I just publish the stream, you guys will already have access to the chat room. I know some of you guys, like Renee, you guys are always there first thing in the morning. So if you are interested, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon too, somewhere there. You'll get notified, and then join the chat room. Start checking out what we're looking at pre-market. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a like as well. Let's dive into the charts now because we got some really fun tickers to review. It's not going to be the longest recap, nothing too crazy, but I think, like always, there's some really, really good lessons in a recap. So guys, I'll see you on the charts now. All right, hold on. I just had a chocolate bar. Gotta get back into it. Oh, I just realized the screen's up. So if you guys want to see some real FOMO here, okay. So if you guys were on the live stream, you guys saw that I called out this SNGX move, and well, I first traded it here, didn't reverse, and then I took a small loss on it, and I was like, ugh, horrible. And then kind of pulled back here, and we got this nice little dip on it, and then it reversed, and then we had a nice little profit on this one. This was probably like a 3% profit or so. But then I called out this move. I was like, there's a good chance that, 2.5, that psychological support and resistance zone, we broke below this area, and we pulled right back up. So there's a good chance that this is going to be a retest zone. Now it's after 11 o'clock. I wrapped up my trading. I wasn't going to be trading anymore, but I was just watching this one. And then it runs up here, and I was like, the 253, 256 zone was like my huge target. So like this would have been the perfect second trade. Then it kind of made a bull flag here, did a little quick pullback, and then just ran up here 8%. But then ginormous flush, 11% flush, because news came out that there is a price target now lowering to $2. So guys, this is why I always wrap up trading usually by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like even when I was trading these 3 trades or 2 trades in this area, I was feeling pretty guilty. I was like, it's really like I'm really pushing it at this point. Yes, this trade would have been excellent. And yes, this trade would have been phenomenal as well. But what if you just overstay your welcome just a little bit? These flushes and these big... the chance of news coming out, positive or negative, is not very good, is much higher, and I don't really want to be part of it. Even with FRAN, after what time was that? That was around here. It was like 10:15 or so. This was positive news that came out with FRAN, and it dropped the stock about 20%, and that's because people just don't know what's going to happen with these small caps. I mean, FRAN has a float here of 3 million. So it doesn't take a lot of people buying and selling to move this stock a lot. And that's why, if people don't even know if it's positive or negative news coming out, and the first thing they're going to do is just sell their shares. And that's why here around 6:15, I think this is it, 10:15, yeah, in this area. So the first thing you do is just sell. And if you scroll down here, you can see that actually it was talking about what this company was doing right. FRAN is all good news here. Got a boost, shooting up 67% after the company announced reopened 674 out of 702 of its boutique stores, repaid $2 million outstanding debt. The company also reported Q1's earnings and issued guidance. So that's a good, nice summary, but the stock fell 20% when that news came out. So you got to really, really watch out with these kind of news articles coming out, because the first thing you do is sell, because you don't know if it's good or bad, and these stocks move too quickly. So you always want to get out of news articles, and they tend to happen after 10:30 much more, and that's why I'm always kind of weary trading. Even with SNGX, I was like, there is a good chance that this thing might just dump for no reason, just because an article came out. So I was kind of cautious trading it. So I do regret not trading SNGX, because this setup here at 2.5 was just absolutely wickedly nice. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, you have rules for certain reasons. And eventually, sometimes comes the point in time where you start breaking the rules, because you're like, oh man, like, I don't get why I even have this rule. And then before you know it, you quickly remember why you have that rule. Or you don't. And maybe you made a rule that was too aggressive. I don't know. Not trading pre-market was, I think, a rule that was a little bit too aggressive for me. And I really enjoy trading pre-market, because I get to watch a stock for a much longer period of time. So I generally do appreciate watching pre-market and sometimes trading it. So today I took it very easy. I was a little bit sloppy pre-market, and I had 2 losses, one green trade pre-market with SNGX, but I was still green because I had decent risk reward. But basically, I was like, I'm not going to trade so aggressively today. I think my biggest position size was near the end, with about $2,500. But almost all of my trades today were between $1,000 and $1,500. So the fact that we're up $220 is pretty sweet. We're basically up about 15 to 17%. Based on our average position size today. So these are really, really nice results. And actually we traded today pretty hot. And today pre-market was really the big runner with KODK, which I actually ended up not trading at all, which is kind of weird. It just, like, at no point did I feel super comfortable with KODK. I just really didn't, until maybe it reaches $8 or so. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me quickly see here. Why? Okay, I was so confused. The long-term chart didn't make any sense, or the daily chart. Hold on, still doesn't make any sense. KODK. Why does it show a big wick at $6? Let me quickly see here what's going on. KODK, big wick here at $6. Am I crazy? Am I not seeing something right? So this is the intraday chart on KODK. It goes down to 660. This is not right. Something right here is wrong. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if I'm clearly not seeing something. The chart here goes down to 6. I don't know. I don't see that being the case. So I have no idea why it's all the way down there at 6. It should be at 880 as the all-time low. That's really weird. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with that. Let me know in the comments if I'm clearly missing something. So KODK, 8 million float, lead gapper on the day, U.S. specialty biz services company, 765 million loan from the U.S. governments to manufacture drugs. That's a huge news, because this market cap on KODK pre-market was about like 110 million. So this is huge news. I mean, that loan alone is like 7 times the whole market cap of the stock. That's crazy. So I had a feeling this was going to be a hot runner. It was up at like 300% before the market, or by the time the market opened, and I constantly was waiting for a pullback on this one. This whole area in here, this is the closest I got to a pullback. I had like an order at like 643 or 647, I forgot. I was looking for a bit more of a VWAP retest, but all the pullbacks on this one, basically since the TOS opened its market at 7 o'clock in the morning, it was just constantly ripping up. And it was hard to buy the dips on this one, because the dips were never that aggressive. I mean, this whole move here is like 30%, and at no point does it really dip that much. So you always feel like you're buying at the perfect high. That's a big reason why I didn't trade KODK. I could have, should have, would have probably traded it at $9 as we were seeing some big support coming in here. Whew, I'm talking too fast, especially here at like 947 or like 944. Sometime after this area, as we start breaking back above here, and then we have that last final retest of 912, and then we rip here a pretty substantial amount, 20%. So I think that right there is like the one trade I think I would have wanted to do on KODK. Everything else, maybe besides this like 9-minute EMA pullback here, I don't know. I was not feeling this ticker at all today. So I avoided it. I said, you know what? Sometimes it's not the ticker for me, and I'm just going to have to, say it's okay. And I didn't have any FOMO today. I had no sort of regret not trading KODK. You know, next time maybe I'll be a little bit more aggressive on a ticker that looks similar, but for now I felt like it was all overextended and I felt like I missed it, and that's basically what happened. But I luckily didn't FOMO into some sort of high. So SNGX was the big winner for today, and then we had FRAN as the second one. So let's talk about SNGX first. We already kind of recapped those last trades, so let's just review this one pre-market because that's really where I traded this one quite a bit. 20 million float, US biotech announces publication positive coronavirus preclinical results on a vaccine. That's like a mouthful to say. So, okay, it has a catalyst, you know, coronavirus, vaccine, all sounding pretty good. Relative volume here was really, really strong today, and I knew it had big support at 2.5 and it had big resistance at 3. So that's kind of what I was working with here. So we pull up to a 368 pre-market, and then we pull back 20%, and $3, like I just said, big support. So I ended up buying here my first trade right below $3 when it cracked, but not that strong. We also had some really sweet divergence here. You can kind of see it. We had the first kind of dip here with big sell volume. We had the second dip here with less sell volume, and we had the third dip here with even less sell volume. So I was like, okay, well, you know, less sell volume and the break of 3 wasn't really that strong. Let me definitely terrorize this ticker up a little bit. And I bought this here, and that was my first big winner for the day. Here I try to buy the 9-minute EMA pullback. This one didn't work, and then here I try to buy the breakout. Both of these didn't work. Luckily, I was still up because, you know, I had decent risk management, and every time this thing pulled back, I got out very, very quickly. So I never really risked too much money. One of my favorite trades actually on SNGX, which I really butchered horribly though, is I had an entry here at limit order at 269. Had a perfect fill, but the problem is, just check this out, 500 shares at 269. I mean, that's like a $1,200 position, ridiculous. Bounces up here, and then, you know, I close here at like 281 or something like that. No, not even 278, and then runs up a little bit higher. I mean, I'm not complaining, but, you know, on a pretty clean setup like this, we called this move out pre-market. Luckily, I got it, but, you know, this was one of those moves where I should have got way more aggressive. I should have been like $2,000-$3,000 position size, which was actually my goal. The whole reason for this limit order is because I knew alerts on TOS don't work usually in the first 3-5 minutes of the market open. So I basically made a limit order instead of an alert to get alerted when I entered, and then I wanted to fill full size. Unfortunately, I think I was in the middle of another trade and I just didn't get the fill. So it is what it is. SNGX, and then obviously in this area, you guys remember, you know, this is where I was talking about 2.5 psychological support and resistance, and this is why I was trading this area. But you know, I think we were up $90 on the day with SNGX, and then I basically squeezed out another $40. And even though at first I gave back quite a bit on this first one, so it's like it was weird. I wish I could have maybe traded this one more time. I think I would have probably traded this one. I would have done that one as well. FRAN, like, man, weird one. 3 million float, U.S. apparel retail company, good Q1 2020 results, forecasting sales increase. The problem with FRAN, and this is what we were talking about a lot during the stream, and you guys in the chat room were talking about it a lot as well, is the fact that on the 5-minute chart, if you just go back here a little bit further, it recently had a big gap day. And here you can see on the bottom right, you can see the daily chart. So we had a big, today was a big gapper, and then we've been pulling back ever since. Recently, a few weeks ago, we had a big gap day and pulled back ever since. Here was a try to have a big momentum day and pull back basically all day. So it's just like we've seen FRAN just absolutely not have good resolution. And if you just kind of go back here a little bit, you can see it really, really nicely. Boom, all pre-market and then just sold off all day. So that's kind of what we had today. This thing, you know, out of the gates, try to move up, but it just totally collapsed, and kind of crazy how similar these two were. The only difference was that FRAN this time did try to break above VWAP. So this, you know, could have got a lot of people on the bad side of the move. This thing flushed so hard, like 20% again. So just a wicked ticker, FRAN. So easy to get on the wrong side of this one. So good to be cautious. I think that honestly wraps up everything for today. I think really the biggest lesson is, like, you know why you're trading what you're trading, know yourself, don't get super aggressive if you're not feeling comfortable. And then, you know, as you feel more comfortable, just like the last trade I had today with SNGX, then maybe add up some position size and then maybe get a little bit more aggressive. But there's no reason to get super aggressive right out of the gates.
You want to avoid the mistakes. Tomorrow, it should be statistically a very hot day. Wednesday tends to be a hot day. And today we had huge pre-market. So tomorrow we might see a bit more pre-market action. So tomorrow, I would like to get a little bit more aggressive pre-market. We'll see what happens. I have to trade every day the markets in front of me, not the market I want, not the market that I'm trying to predict. But I do understand there's higher chances for a fairly strong small cap market tomorrow. So maybe we'll get it, maybe not. I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to start the stream. Not start the stream, but the chat rooms usually opens up a little bit earlier now because I get the video out as soon as I can, which sometimes means the lead gapper ticker is changed by the time the market actually opens. So, keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, let's wrap it up here, and then I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Don't forget to drop a comment below if you have any questions or whatever, or let me know what you guys are trading, and leave a like if you enjoy the content, and subscribe if you're totally new. I'd love to see you again. Join the community. It's super good fun. Ciao, ciao, guys.